Welcome back to Freedom Algo. So I'm going to show you how you can easily make $1,000 a day trading the ES. So let's get into it. Basically, if you're just trading this one asset, just the ES, 2000 tick chart, there's so many opportunities to do this, even with a small account size. So earlier today we had this downtrend and there's a short here. So you could have taken this. Now all these green arrows are the riskier trades. So it started off with a little bit riskier trades. The red arrows are good shorts and the blue arrows are good longs. So you can see here, this is just a first entry, second entry short with a really bearish bar off this trend line. You could argue that this one is possibly a red arrow. I just didn't like how sideways it was there. That's the only reason that it got marked that way. And then after that, we had this one here, which you get a first entry, second entry short, but this is just not the best candle. It's kind of a doji. This was a little bit more bearish. I would have said great, or also if it didn't break higher than that. So it's a little bit risky. Then you get a triple test down here. The only reason this is green is because it broke so much lower than this here. If it was about like an equal low to this, I would have said that's a blue arrow, but it's a great trade either way. Then it comes up, you get a close outside and a new high all at once. So you could take that. You're better to wait for the lower high, and that comes here, and that was pretty much a really great trade. Easy scalp. And all you're looking to do on a day like today is take about 6 ticks of profit on your scalp and then leave runners. And so realistically, if you're trading with like 5 contracts, you only need 3 trades to successfully achieve your scalp to make $1,000. Now, if you're trading with less, if you're trading with even 1 contract, you are going to need a lot more trades than that, but there is definitely enough to still do it, and with pretty low risk. Stop loss always goes above or below the signal bar. Now, finally, it breaks out here, and then you get this trade here, which is actually a first entry, pulls back and gives you a second entry short with a really bearish bar. So that's a really nice one. You don't get a runner, unfortunately, because there's this lower high here. And I would have said this lower high would have been nice to take. However, you're going into the lows there, so you can't really take that. The lower high does come and probably stop out your runner unless you got in with a limit order, but you still get a really nice scalp there. Breaks down. There's not very many good trade setups here. There's a couple that you could argue for, but I'm not going to mark those because they're a little too risky. Finally, it comes up and you get this here. You can kind of look at this like a double bottom, and you get a first entry, second entry short. This is a pretty nice trade. It's within this up channel though, so you have to mark that as a little bit questionable, but it does break down. And then here you actually get a hidden first entry, hidden second entry long that fails at exactly that level with a really bearish bar. So I think you could take that short as a trap. You definitely get a scalp. Finally, it makes a new low and the measured move target, which we measured from way back at the beginning of the session. There's a leg there and then a second leg that measured down to here, and it bounces perfectly there. I didn't mark this, but I actually probably should actually say that there's a green arrow here. You could take this if you want to be aggressive. Sometimes you can catch an important low there. I didn't take it personally because it was so bearish that there was still a possibility that there was a wider down channel in play. But if you took that, it would have paid off and you would have had a runner that could have taken you all the way up. Now, I actually did take this short. This was my last trade of the day that I took. And I entered it on a limit order a few ticks back. So it worked for me because at this point of the day, the volatility was lower, a little lower. So I was going for 4 ticks instead of 6. So I scalped 4 ticks on this. But you need to be careful in areas like this because we already made the measured move and I knew it was a risky trade. So I just took it as I dropped my limit order back like around this area, got filled me, and then I just got out. Then this came up, you got a break here, move to a new high, and then you get a triple test here. 1, 2, 3. Nice bearish bar. That's an easy one to get back to the EMA. If you took that one, I don't think you get a runner here because I think it fills you here and then comes back. But then it does run down. This moved on me. You come down, you get a close outside, and you actually get a second entry short here with a pretty bearish bar. It's a little sideways in there, but I think right there you could take that knowing that you're probably going to get a new low, which does. Then it comes over here. You actually get this higher low. The higher low is here, but then this is an equal low, so you could just trade it on this one. I would have waited here for this to break up and then drop a limit order back a little bit because it's a pretty big bar, 15 ticks. So I would have dropped the limit order back, just see if it fills you somewhere, and it would have, and then you would have caught a nice runner on that one. You could have rode that all the way up. Finally, it comes up. You get this again, another failed breakout here, but I don't think you can take that. I wasn't trading at this point, but I actually see this now, so let me just mark it. There's a higher or a lower high here. So after the failed breakout right here, you get a lower high. So you could definitely look at taking that. And then there's actually, and you could have taken this too. There's a failed second entry long here. So new high, first entry, second entry long that fails. You could take that. At this point, the downtrend's in effect. So you could have actually taken both of these, and you would have probably caught a runner maybe on this one here, probably not on that one, but probably on that one. And then it breaks down, get a close outside. Now you're looking for a new low here, and so you actually get a first entry, second entry, and a lower high. The only reason this isn't red is because this candle closed kind of neutral. It wasn't really closing in its lower third very much. It's kind of arguable. Not a perfect signal bar. If you had a more bearish bar there, I'd say that's a really good trade. And now it's still breaking down. So downtrend looks like it's in effect. There's probably a spike in channel here. So it looks to me like possibly some kind of like a, there might be some sort of like a spike in channel, something like that in effect. So this thing could keep going, and I would be playing it like that. So that's all I saw for the day. Really great day after low volatility. So happy with it, and I'll see you tomorrow.